Welcome to Leading Behind the Scene. I'm your host, Gwendolyn Young, the go-to business and operations consultant for six-figure CEOs who are ready to reach their next level of growth. And I'm ready to share tools, strategies, and tips to help you excel in your business and your life. If you're a service-based entrepreneur, be sure to join me each Thursday. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And don't forget to follow the show on your favorite podcast player so you never miss an episode. And if you love the content, leave me a rating review. Now let's get into today's episode.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Leading Behind the Scene. This week, we are continuing the conversation on client onboarding. If you haven't listened to the previous episodes, I recommend you go back and start with those and then come on back to this one. In this episode, I want to talk through systems and processes of the client onboarding process. So let's dive in and unravel the secrets behind creating efficient and effective systems and processes in your client onboarding journey. As business owners, entrepreneurs, and service providers, one of our most critical moments lies in the initial stages of onboarding new clients. It's that crucial time when we set the stage for a long-lasting relationship, deliver exceptional value, and create an unforgettable first impression. But how can we ensure a seamless and consistent onboarding experience every single time with every single client? Thank you for asking. It's in the systems and processes. These are what lay the foundation for success. Nothing makes automation more difficult than piecing together subpar systems. If you're still handling customer support with a Gmail address, relying on back and forth email to schedule appointments, or keeping client notes in a Word doc on your desktop, it is time for an upgrade. Now, before y'all come for me, please believe I am not judging. Okay, we all started somewhere and we all have to start somewhere. I had glconsulting@gmail.com for a long time, okay? But seriously though, systems are nothing more than routines that address specific problems or business issues. Sometimes the word workflow is also used to describe a system, and it's easy to picture a flowchart of what has to happen first before another task can start. So let's start from the very beginning when a client wants to connect with you about your services. Do you have a dedicated business email that has your website name included? If you want to look professional, I'm suggesting you drop the freebie Gmail or Yahoo email account and invest in an email that includes your website domain. Now, what happens after you receive that email? Do you have automated email notifications that inform you that someone new is interested in your services? Do you have personalized email templates ready to go so that you're responding immediately to the inquiry? Do you have a way to get the information you need before you hop on a call with a client? Is it easy for them to book that call with you? And what about the reminders to them that the call is coming up as it gets closer to the date? Phew, I know, right? And we're not even done. We haven't even fully brought them into the business as a client. So what is your system and or process for following up after that call to close the sale? And then what happens once they say yes? This is why your systems and processes are super important. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. But do you see how some things can be automated? If you really want to maximize your productivity, invest in a platform that handles multiple tasks so you're not opening multiple windows and trying to coordinate information between multiple sites and tabs. For example, 17 Hats allows you to read and answer emails, create templates and workflow systems, create to-do lists, create invoices, organize your leads list for easy follow-up. There's also a calendar where you can schedule appointments. It has a Zoom integration and even a bookkeeping option so you can track your revenue. Having all of these features allows you to handle multiple tasks right inside one system without jumping from email to invoicing to scheduling, etc. With hundreds of similar systems on the market, do some research or have your virtual assistant do it and choose one that fits your budget and handles multiple needs. I personally use 17 Hats and I love it. We went from taking 30 to 45 minutes to put together proposals to 10 to 15 minutes of doing a proposal because we have email templates in the system, questionnaire templates in the system, invoice templates in the system, and we've branded it with our logo, our brand colors, and domain. It has been a game changer. One other system that is key to onboarding and keeping your clients happy is the ability for them to easily book their own appointments with you online. Put yourself in their shoes for a second and think about how many times you've thought of making an appointment as you're going to bed or throughout a random time in the day, but it might be too late to call the dentist's office at that hour or the doctor's office at that hour and all the things. But if it's easy for your clients to make an appointment with you, they can simply open up an app and schedule their onboarding call with you. Again, there are hundreds of apps and platforms to handle this, so thorough research is important, but a program that allows you to input your available hours and immediately allows a prospect or client to choose a time that suits them is golden. No more emails going back and forth, no more lost emails, no more double checking time zone, as most of these programs have time zone conversion capabilities. Talk about making it easy for your prospect and new clients. Another system that is vital for easy onboarding is having forms or questionnaires that are easy for them to fill out. If you have a multiple task system, there's usually a way to create a simple client profile, which the client fills out and then it automatically loads into your contact database. In addition to the typical name and phone numbers, you might need addresses or even birthdays. And while this may seem strange at first, especially if your clients are virtual, having some of that personal information allows you to send special gifts to commemorate those important dates. Likewise, you can stay in tune with events or milestones of your clients on social media. If you see someone had a baby, graduated from college, got married, whatever, you can send a congratulatory gift. While this is completely optional, caring enough about your clients to send a gift is a golden addition to your client retention strategy and sets you apart from other CEOs in the business. While upgrading your systems will take time, the various platforms and software will also require a monetary investment. We know that growing businesses need money. It's just a fact. This is why it's always critical to map out your process first. Let me say that again. Map out your process first, meaning know what you want the process to look like, what you want the system to do, and then research the various platforms and software that will give you the outcome you want. Don't buy the platform first and then hope it will adjust to your process and system. So know what you want first, then research, read the reviews, ask the questions if you need to, look at the capabilities and functions and integrations and all the things, and then make a decision. If you are a new CEO just starting out, you probably don't need software or platforms with all the bells and whistles, but be wary of the lowest price software too. Just because it fits your budget doesn't mean it's easy to use or has the features that you need. You can even look for those with a free trial. Even if there's just a small fee for a trial, if the functionality is impressive, it's worth taking the system for a test drive. Of course, that actually requires you to take the time to actually fool with the system, y'all. Play around with the features and test it to make sure that it is user friendly and does what you need it to do. Do your due diligence so you can make a purchase you know will benefit your business. And even though it's very tempting to stick with freebie services, I know they say, don't fix what ain't broken, right? And yet you still have to periodically analyze if the service or software has the proper functionality for your business model and the way that you work. If you're worried about the financial investment, upgrade one thing at a time and make tweaks so that the process or system is close to perfection. You'll always see room for change, and no one says you have to do it all at once or that you have to stay loyal to one provider or brand. The next step is to create a policies and procedures manual. Consistency matters, not only when it comes to improving your efficiency overall and adding cash to your bottom line, but for the customer experience as well. A clear policy and procedures manual will ensure everyone on your team is on the same page and handling client onboarding the same way. Start with creating an outline or a checklist of all the steps it takes to complete the onboarding process from start to finish. Remember to include the smaller things too, like follow-up phone calls, sending a small gift when the contract is signed, all the things. Once you have all the steps, turn this into a standard operating procedure. So in the event that you or whomever on your team is responsible for client onboarding is ever out, then someone else can step in and minimize the delays. You want to think about creating an approved vendor policy. This way, your team does not have to ask you for permission on what gift to send to your new client, or when their birthday or anniversary rolls around, they will already have the approved vendor list and a budget to work within. Also think about creating a billing policy. This is vitally important to your bottom line. Decide early on if you will accept credit cards or if you're sending invoices. How long does the client have to pay? Will you apply a late fee? Will you offer any kind of discounts? Under what circumstances will you offer discounts? Like all the things. Are you going to offer payment options? If someone doesn't agree with or can't abide by your billing policies, what's the next step? Will you offer refunds? What if your client agreed to a certain term to work with you and then stops paying halfway through? What will you do? These are all the things that are food for thought. You want to think about cancellation policies. These help to keep your calendar on schedule and deter clients from canceling at the last minute or not showing up altogether. So, do you require a certain amount of notice for cancellations? Think about the doctor's office. They want 24-hour notice or they charging you a fee. But you want to think about, do you require a certain amount of time for cancellation so you can utilize that time differently or maybe offer it to another client? Or will you charge a fee for late cancellations? Or what about a no-show fee for those who keep forgetting their appointments? Now, I'm not saying just be out here all rigid and inflexible with your clients, okay? Before y'all think y'all gonna come for me. I get that life happens to all of us. What I am saying is that if their cancellations become a pattern and disruptive to your workflow, then enforcing the policy will help get the clients back on track, or at the very least compensate you for the time that was wasted with them not showing up or canceling at the last minute. Okay? And don't be out here thinking that and acting like it don't happen, because you know it does. So knock it off, right? So creating a well-crafted client onboarding policy manual will lessen stress when something goes wrong and keeps team members on the same page with how to handle issues when they come up. And it can enhance efficiency, reduce errors, and elevate the overall client experience, ultimately leading to stronger client relationships and sustainable business growth. Next week, we will continue the conversation around systems and processes for client onboarding that help keep you from recreating the wheel every time a potential new client inquires about your services or is ready to come on board. For now, your challenge, should you choose to accept, is to go review your processes, review your systems, and make and prioritize an upgrade list and start creating your policy and procedure manual. Until next time, thank you for joining me today on Leading Behind the Scene. I'll see you soon, beautiful people.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Leading Behind the Scene. I hope you found some encouragement or helpful information today to help move your business and or your life forward. If you have a specific topic you'd like me to talk about or guests you'd like me to have on the show, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I love connecting with my listeners. Also, be sure to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode and leave me a rating review. I'll see you next week.